personal protective equipment for medical personnel and first responders.
Some experts say this virus could spread not just through coughing and sneezing, but through talking, even just breathing. Now, there has been a lot of talk today about social distancing and church services. Some pastors defying orders, the governor of Florida exempting religious services from the stay-at-home order, saying that they are essential. The governor of California was just asked about it. He was unequivocal. He said we need to social distance everywhere, period, full stop. Wolf.
All right, lots of news. Nick Watt reporting for us. Thank you. We're standing by for an update from the experts over at the White House Coronavirus Task Force. We'll have coverage of that. Our chief White House correspondent, Jim Acosta, in the meantime, is joining us. Jim, so what should we expect from today's briefing?
Wolf, officials are likely to be asked about this new letter sent to the administration warning that the coronavirus could be spread by talking and breathing. A source close to the coronavirus task force said the White House is taking that warning seriously, saying, quote, "It is certainly possible the virus could be spread that way." In the meantime, the president is complaining about governors who say they don't have enough medical equipment to deal with the crisis. But the record clearly shows it was the president who was downplaying the virus as his administration failed to prepare for the pandemic.
Raising new questions about the deadly coronavirus pandemic, a top expert on the National Academy of Sciences has written a letter to the White House warning the virus could be more contagious than previously thought. The letter warns the results of available studies are consistent with aerosolization of virus from normal breathing. That's likely to fuel interest in urging Americans to wear masks outside their homes, a practice that Los Angeles officials have just adopted.
We are now recommending that Angelenos use homemade face coverings when they are in public and interacting with others.
The pandemic is savaging the U.S. economy with an astonishing 6.6 million Americans filing unemployment claims last week, the highest number on record. Another sign top administration officials were wrong about the virus.
So I think it will help to accelerate the return of jobs to North America, some to U.S., probably some to Mexico as well.
On the shortages of critical equipment and the battle against the virus, President Trump is blaming local leaders, tweeting, "Massive amounts of medical supplies, even hospitals and medical centers, are being delivered directly to states and hospitals by the federal government. Some have insatiable appetites and are never satisfied. The complainers should have been stocked up and ready long before this crisis hit." More governors say they feel like they're on their own.
What Democrats and Republicans have been saying is the states are managing this, but we're not getting the support from the federal government that we need.
The president is resisting the idea of issuing a national stay-at-home order.
You have to look at states. You have to give a little bit of flexibility. But if a state in the Midwest, or if Alaska, as an example, doesn't have a problem, it's awfully tough to say, close it down.
But it's clear some GOP governors are taking their cues from the president, like Florida's Ron DeSantis, who just issued his own order based on Mr. Trump's comments this week.
You've seen his demeanor the last couple of days. That's not necessarily how he always is. I mean, I think that we all look at this and say, this thing is really nasty.
Georgia's GOP governor Brian Kemp says he was surprised to learn people without symptoms can spread the virus.
Those individuals could have been infecting people before they ever felt bad. Well, we didn't know that until the last 24 hours.
But hold on, the experts said that back in January.
You know that in the beginning, we were not sure if there were asymptomatic infection, which would make it a much broader outbreak than what we're seeing. Now we know for sure that there are.
Part of the problem, a Trump advisor said the president was listening to aides, insisting the virus would disappear in April, adding he took a gamble and got it wrong.
You know, a lot of people think that goes away in April with the heat, as the heat comes in. Typically, that will go away in April.
A widow of a veteran who died from the coronavirus said the president was spreading confusion.
The commander-in-chief was saying it was nothing, I don't want to add anger to my other feelings, so I just can't be mad about it. I just think there was a lot of confusion, too much confusion for something so serious.
One government official who tried to warn the public, Dr. Anthony Fauci, now needs extra security due to death threats.
You just focus on the job you have to do and just put all that other stuff aside and try as best as possible not to pay attention to it and just forge ahead.
The White House has announced the president has invoked the Defense Production Act once again to stimulate the production of more hospital ventilators. As for the economy, it's not clear how quickly Americans will get any relief from the recently passed $2 trillion stimulus bill. Just today, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi established a special committee to investigate the government response to the coronavirus. Our Capitol Hill colleagues are reporting that it could take 20 weeks for some Americans to receive their stimulus checks by mail. Clearly, Wolf, that is way too long. And one other note about the briefing that should be starting shortly. Dr. Anthony Fauci, I am told, is not going to be at this evening's briefing, Wolf.
Interesting. All right, Jim Acosta, we'll watch it clearly very closely. Thank you very much. We're joined now by the governor of New Jersey, Phil Murphy. Governor, thank you so much for joining us. I know you have a lot going on. More than 500 people in New Jersey have now died from the coronavirus. About a third of those deaths were confirmed in the last 24 hours alone. Are you prepared for what the next week, the next month could look like for your state?
Wolf, good to be with you. We're trying like heck. I mean, we're short still ventilators, personal protective equipment, beds, healthcare workers. The great news is we've put a call to arms and we've gotten 7,100 people raising their hands to volunteer. But we have a ways to go. We're doing everything we can. We started this in January. This has been a heck of a challenge to stay out in front of this. We've gotten some help from the federal government, which we're grateful for. We need a lot more.
I want to read to you that tweet by President Trump that Jim Acosta just mentioned. Let me read it once again to you. Massive amounts of medical supplies, even hospitals and medical centers, are being delivered directly to states and hospitals by the federal government. Some have insatiable appetites and are never satisfied. Politics? Remember, we are a backup for them. The complainers should have been stocked up and ready long before this crisis hit. How do you respond, Governor, to that?
I wouldn't describe our appetite as insatiable. I would describe it as based in science and facts and data. We are trying to call this as best as we can from the beginning, based on the facts that are before us. And we're getting hit hard. We are part of, particularly in the northern part of our state, we're part of the greater metro New York reality, New York City reality, and we're not asking for a speck more than we need. By the way, the state of New Jersey, at least, was never in the business of acquiring personal protective equipment. As I sit here before you, we've now acquired only in the past few weeks 10 million pieces. The federal government, like a whole lot of other areas in our lives, but certainly in a crisis, there's nothing replacing it. The federal government has got to play a big outsized role right now.
And you say they're not doing enough?
Listen, again, we've got open lines. They have delivered. We've now gotten a total of 850 ventilators. I am grateful for that. We've got an ask in for an additional 1,650. We're trying to buy personal protective equipment. Literally today, personally, I've been on with folks in Germany, Taiwan, People's Republic of China, as well as some folks in the United States. We're not waiting for it. We're building out hospitals. And again, the Army Corps is helping us, and I thank them profusely. But in all of those channels and all of those avenues, we can only do so much. Any one state can only do so much. And again, we need our federal partners with us.
We now know, this is very disturbing, Governor, that thousands of the federal government's ventilators could not be distributed because they were not maintained before this pandemic reached the U.S. What does that tell you about the overall?
Knock on wood, at least to date, Wolf, we've had a very high hit rate of functioning, thank God. On the one hand, we got to, all of us have to do this spot ever again.
Yeah, a lot of people want a 9/11 type commission of inquiry to make sure we learn from the lessons in case, God forbid, this ever comes up again. We will have much better preparedness. Your neighboring governor, Andrew Cuomo of New York, says the virus could continue to plague his state until August. Are you preparing for a similarly lengthy timeline?
Yeah, I don't know that I've got a specific date for you, Wolf, but we know this is not going to be tomorrow or next week or even probably a month from now. This is a marathon. New Jersey and New York, along with our neighbors in Connecticut, we have put in place now for many weeks some of the very strongest restrictions on people moving around. And by the way, if you're watching from New Jersey, one piece of advice, stay at home, period. The great news is, if you look at these heat maps, the travel has gone down dramatically please God, that translates into a flattening of the curve, and therefore a much more reasonable exchange between the rate of people who are sick and our healthcare system's ability to treat them. That may extend the reality, but it may well be a much more manageable reality.
Very quickly, because we got to go.
Is this, we got to make sure the order is right here. We get the virus first, then we get the economy back open.
Is it time for the people of New Jersey to start wearing masks or face coverings right now?
I saw what Los Angeles is doing. I think in a perfect world with the amount of supplies that we would need to do that, probably, I'm not a health expert. My fear is that we've already got shortages with healthcare workers, first responders. We're hearing from our retail and transit brothers and sisters. They feel exposed. I think we have to deal with the order of priorities first.
Governor Murphy, good luck to you. Good luck to all the folks in New Jersey. I know this is an extremely painful and difficult experience. So thanks so much.
Why the fuck is there even a question as to, putting on a face mask? And this motherfucker was like, oh yeah, New Jersey, everywhere, and face masks. Oh, I'm not a doctor. Fuck you. Err on the side of caution, you fucking morons, man. These people are idiots.
Later tonight, 8 p.m.
They're all
Eastern,
fucking
only
idiots,
and
that's why this virus is everywhere.
There's more news we're following right now.
Yeah, I'm Wolf Blitzer. Yeah, I've got questions. I've got questions. I need answered. I don't understand exactly. What are we supposed to do about this? How far away should people stay from each other? Should we wear face masks? How about this, you fucking idiot? Everything you just said, do it. And stop asking stupid fucking questions. You fucking moron. Fuck off, CNN. Wait for this goddamn press conference to start. Yeah, the fucking nice, respectful, right, of the president to have the whole goddamn country waiting for him to speak. 67,000 people just on this live stream waiting for Donald Trump to come out and speak. He was supposed to come out 17 fucking minutes ago. What a disrespectful piece of shit. You know, if you're gonna be late, set the time a half hour later, you fuck stick. You fucking disrespectful fuck. What a piece of shit. Let's just start with that. We're gonna just start with that. And does anybody disagree? Does anybody disagree? They shouldn't have said, if he can't get somewhere on time, set it a fucking half hour later? What the fuck? You can't show up on time? Are you fucking telling me that he's sitting right there behind that wall and they're all just sitting there and they're looking at their watches and they're going, okay, let's come out 20 minutes late. Fucking douchebags. 69,000 people watching this live stream now. Just the live stream. You know, it's almost as if he's trying to get the maximum amount of ratings. You know? That's what it appears. Where the fuck are you fucking president of the United States? You're not a game show host anymore, you fucking idiot. There's a million goddamn cases of this around the world, okay? Your country, the United States, is responsible for a quarter of them. You fucking douchebag. Where are you? Come out and answer for your bullshit. By the way, your jobs report is the lowest unemployment on fucking record of this last graph that I saw. I didn't even see the fucking beginning date. It was years ago. We've never had unemployment like this. Ever. You know, the fucking cavemen had more goddamn jobs. Hey, Carl. Thank you, Kayla. He didn't go till 5:30 yesterday. Said it was going to be 5. What a dick. What a fucking dick. God. That'd be funny if I was sitting here bitching this whole time and the video was paused and he'd been live for like 20 minutes. Ugh. Wouldn't that be great? I got laundry going. I got the dishwasher going. Kicking ass. Laundry's gonna be done eventually. 30 minutes. So I got nothing else now. Okay, here we go. Finally. Right, Rogan? Rogan goes to the top 3. He's such a good boy. Good boy. Okay, somebody came out. I thought that meant it was going to start. Maybe not. Slow mode is on, huh? God, it just got swept right up there, didn't it? Dude, my sound is on. This is so weird. Why is there... Here's the president, but there's no sound. Oh, there it is. Cool.
Okay, thank you very much. Good to be with you all. We're in a very critical phase of our war against the coronavirus. It's vital that every American follows our guidelines on the 30 days to slow the spread. The sacrifices we make over the next 4 weeks will have countless American lives saved. We're going to save a lot of American lives, and
we're going to save
control of our own fate, very much so.
Where are you going? Aren't we going out on Easter?
Distance, practicing
Easter.
vigorous hygiene.
Easter would be great.
Staying at home.
What a great day.
Most effective
It's a
ways
beautiful
to
day.
win the war
A
and
day
to
for
escape
eggs
danger.
and rabbits
While you're
and
fighting
children
this
running in the
battle from
garden.
home, we're
Easter.
working with the best scientists,
That's when we'll all
doctors,
be
and
out.
researchers anywhere in the world. We're racing to develop new ways to protect against the virus.
Can you hear him okay?
As well as therapies, treatments, and ultimately a vaccine, and we're making a lot of progress. I think medically a lot of progress. At the same time, we're also racing to get relief to American workers and small businesses, as you know. I want to remind small business owners across America that the Paycheck Protection Program is launching tomorrow. Nearly $350 billion in loans will be available to small businesses, including sole proprietors. These loans are up to 100% forgivable as long as
Church pews will be
employers
filled with
keep
people.
paying their workers. Got to take care of your workers. Furthermore, we want Social Security beneficiaries to know that if they are typically not required to file a tax return, they don't have to file one in order to receive the direct cash payments that will soon be distributed to American citizens. The Treasury will deposit the money directly into
August,
the bank
that's what I
accounts.
heard.
And don't forget, I will always protect your Social Security, your Medicare, and your Medicaid. We're protecting Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, and I always will. I'd like now to invite SBA Administrator Jovita Carranza, who's doing a fantastic job. She's going to be very busy in the next little while. And Secretary Steve Mnuchin to say a few words about these vital initiatives, and then we'll get on to the attack of the virus itself. And please, if I might, Steve and Jovita.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President and Mr. Vice President, Secretary Mnuchin, Ivanka Trump, and all who I have been working closely with.
Left
in this
Ivanka.
effort. Small business is the backbone of the American economy, and the president
She's a dumb
has
stump.
put the nation's 30 million small businesses front and center in the response effort, and we are working hard to get money to them quickly.
Working hard.
This is an unprecedented effort by this administration to support small businesses, and we know that there will be challenges in the process. Secretary Mnuchin and I are working in tandem to ensure that feedback from our partners is being heard and implemented. The private and public sector must work closely together to ensure that small businesses and their workers across the country are put first. This administration believes wholeheartedly that if you are a small business, you are a critical part of the economic fabric of this country, and your viability is critical to the economic well-being.
It's almost all
of
pro-Trump
employees.
bullshit.
At
So
SBA,
funny.
we are working around the clock to support small businesses, ensuring that we are prioritizing emergency capital for small businesses that are suffering economic harm as a result of this unprecedented situation. This relief will help stabilize the small business sector by providing businesses with the financial resources they need to keep their workers employed and keep up with their day-to-day operating expenses. Today, I want to ensure that small businesses all over the country know about the Paycheck Protection Program and how they can benefit from this. Simply put, the Paycheck Protection Program is to help keep employees on payroll and small businesses open. SBA will forgive the portion of the loan that is used toward job retention and certain other expenses. We are working closely with lenders so that businesses can go directly to their local lenders. Paycheck Protection Program is in addition to substantial work that the SBA has and will continue to do to help small businesses, including providing advances on SBA disaster loans and forgiving existing SBA loan payments over
Hey,
the
buddy,
next 6 months.
What are you doing?
Additional details on these critically
Buddy, what are you
important
doing?
programs can be
Hey,
found
you.
at sba.gov.
What you doing,
And
buddy?
we will be updating these resources regularly. Our hearts go out to those affected by this terrible virus. Our communities around the country are stepping up, and we will get through this together. At SBA, we know that every phone call, email, or application submitted has a small business owner, their employees, and the communities they support are on the other side. Our most important objective is to allow small businesses to keep their employees on board and keep their businesses viable through this unprecedented disruption. I want to reiterate, continue working around the clock as we've done.
Donald
The
Trump
federal
looks like
and
such a
private
fucking
sector
idiot standing
partners
there.
expanding capacity